Again, in 5.4, we already looked at being able to check solutions, right? We already looked at that part. Now we want to look at actually graphing linear inequalities and using them to solve real-life problems. So if we take a look at example 2, the images at the bottom of page 2 and top of page 3 summarize all the key things in graphing our inequalities. There's only a few differences than graphing just a normal line, right? The first difference is just like an opened and a closed circle, we have to decide if we have a solid line or a dashed line. Right? The second difference is that instead of just a line, we also have to shade half of our graph. The boundary line, if we read here, it says the boundary line divides the coordinate plane into two half planes. So we're going to graph our boundary line, but then we have to decide which half of the graph to shade. Right? The steps we're going to use are first putting the inequality into y equals form, right? And really following this checklist here is probably more helpful than looking at that core concept box. Right? So let's go ahead and look at some examples following that checklist. In example 2, it asks us to graph y is less than or equal to 2. So here's my equation. First, I want it in y equals form. I want y by itself, right? So it is. So that's already done. Okay. Second thing I want to do is identify my slope and y-intercept. Well, maybe I could rewrite it as y is less than or equal to 0x plus 2, right? So my slope is that m is 0. My y-intercept, b, is 2. Right. Is it a solid or a dashed line? Well, that's where I look at this symbol and I say it's less than or equal to. The or equal to tells me it's a solid line, just like it would be a filled-in circle on a number line. Right? Since it's closed, right, that's solid for our purposes now. And it says y is less than or equal to, which means below my line is the values that I'm looking for, right? Less than is below when it's talking about y's. So if I graph y is less than or equal to 0x plus 2, my y-intercept is where I start. So on my graph, I'm putting a point at 2. And then I need to go up 0 over 1. So up 0 over 1, up 0 over 1. Oh, well, since there was just one letter, remember, that always meant it was either a horizontal or a vertical line. Right? We decided it's a solid line. Right? And we shade below that line. So I'm going to connect those points with a solid line and put arrows at the end. And then shading below that line means that all of this down here is shaded. Right? And my shading doesn't have to be perfect, as long as I can tell which half is shaded. Okay. So we plotted the points and drew our line, put the arrows at the end, and we shaded where we were supposed to. Okay. How can we check to make sure that we did that right? Well, we can't be totally sure, but one way to check is to say, I'm going to pick a point that's not on my line, right? That's in my shaded area, like 0, 0. And I'm going to check if 0, 0 is a solution to my equation, right? So if I check 0, 0, that would mean x is 0 and y is 0. If I put 0 in for x and y, well, this time it's just a y. 0 is less than or equal to 2. Yep, that's true, which means it should be shaded, and it is. Right? So at least I know that that point, I can't check every point, right? But I know that that point works, so I probably did it correct. In our next example, example 3, we are looking at what happens when my line is not a horizontal or a vertical line. Right? So how do I graph this one? Well, first, I need to put it into y equals form. I need to get y by itself. So I'm going to start by adding x to both sides. So then 2y is greater than x plus 2, right? Positive x and a positive 2. And then I divide everything by 2. Remember, I have to divide all the pieces by 2. And right now there's a 1 in front of that x. So I get that y is greater than 1/2 x plus 2 divided by 2 is 1. So first step, put it in y equals form. Done. Figure out what my slope is. My slope is the number in front of x, so the 1/2. My y-intercept is, my b value, is the 1. Is it a solid or a dashed line? Right? Well, there's no symbol underneath, or no line underneath my symbol, excuse me. So no line underneath means that I know it's a dashed line or dotted line. And I shade, since that says y is greater, that means I shade above my line. So if I go to actually graph that, I'm going to put a point at 1, right? Because my y-intercept is always where I start. And then I go up 1 and to the right 2, up 1 and to the right 2, up 1 and to the right 2 as many times as I can, or down 1 and to the left 2. So put those points on my graph. This time, so we decided it was a dashed line, and we shade above, right? So I'm going to connect it with a dashed line. And then shading above the line means put your pencil on that line. So I'm putting my pencil on the point on the y-intercept, because that's just the point I picked, on the line, and go up. Right? Pencil on the line, anywhere on the line, and go up for above. That tells me I should be shading in this part up here. Right? I could check again. If I check 0, 0, should it make it true or not true, the original problem? Right? Well, because it's not shaded, it should not be true. Right? We're just shading all of the things that make that inequality true. So if I checked 0, 0 again, -0 plus 2 times 0 is greater than 2. Well, that's, 0 is greater than 2, right? That is not true, so that point should not be a solution, which means it shouldn't be shaded, right? And it's not shaded, so I think I did that correctly. Right. So now it's your turn to try a few of these you-try problems. If we start looking through those, y is greater than -1, right? I could make myself a note that I remembered y equals a number is a horizontal line. So I need a horizontal line at -1. Okay. Y is greater means that it's a dashed line, because there's no or equal to underneath. And greater means that I shade above. So I'm going to draw myself a dashed line horizontally at -1. And I'm going to shade above that line. In number 6, I know x equals a number is a vertical line. So I need a vertical line at -4. But because it's less than or equal to, I know that means I have a solid line. And I shade less than is below. So if I start where x is -4 and draw myself a vertical line, that's a solid line. Put my arrows at the ends. I shade below. Well, wait a minute. Below only makes sense for up and down. Which way is below -4? The way where we're going to the right, where they're bigger numbers, or to the left, where they're smaller numbers, right? So for our sake here, below -4 is everything less than -4, which is on the left. Right? Okay, so vertical lines are kind of weird. Right? They're also weird because the slope and y-intercept for vertical lines those don't exist. Right? We could have written number 5 as y is greater than 0, x minus 1, and said the slope was 0 and the y-intercept was -1. Right? But we can't do that when there's not a y in the problem. We just have to know it's a vertical line. And finally, the last two, number 7 and 8 here. First step is put it into y equals form, so get y by itself. So y is less than or equal to -x minus 4. Right? First step done. Second step, what is my slope and my y-intercept? Right, so m is -1 and b is -4. Because its y is less than or equal to, that tells me that I need a solid line, because it's or equal to, and I shade below that line because it's less than or equal to. So I'm going to graph my line. I start at my b, so I start at -4, my vertical intercept or my y-intercept, and I go down 1 over 1. Right? So down 1 into the right one. That's the same thing as up 1 into the left one. I want to make sure my line goes downhill. Right? And then I decide, wait, I connect it with a solid line. All of that is the same as just graphing a normal line. Right? The only difference now is I also have to shade half of that graph. Right? Do I shade above the line or below the line? So put your pencil on any point on that line, and we said we shade below, which means from that point we're going to go down. Or from this point we're going to go down. From any point below the line just means going down on our pencil. Right? If we wanted to check, we could make sure 0, 0 does not work. Right? That would be a good thing to check, that we didn't accidentally shade the wrong half of that. But that wouldn't really tell us if we graphed our line right or anything else. So I'm okay with you not checking as long as you are confident. And the last problem. If I have 1x and I want to get y by itself, I'm going to subtract 1x from both sides. So -2y is less than -1x. And I could show +0, but I don't have to. Right? And then if I divide by -2, ooh, an inequality that dividing by a negative number. Don't forget to flip our symbol around after we're done. So y is actually greater than, a negative divided by a negative makes a positive 1/2, and 0 divided by anything is still 0. Right? That means my slope is 1/2, and my y-intercept is 0. So I start at 0, and I go up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. Okay, or backwards would be down 1 and backwards 2. Right. Now, once I have those points on my graph, I decide how do I connect them. Right. Do I connect them with a solid line or with a dotted or dashed line? Right. So it says y is greater than. Because there's no or equal to, right, I use a dashed line. And it's greater than, which means I shade above that line. So I'm going to use a dashed line to connect those. Put arrows at the ends of my line and shade above that line. So above, put your pencil on it and go up. Pencil on it and go up. And I'm shading above that line. Right? Don't get your shading so close that you can't tell that it was a dashed line, right? Okay, sometimes that happens, that we get so close with our shading that we accidentally make it so it doesn't look like a dashed line anymore. So make sure I can still tell that that was a dashed line. And now it's time to go try some of the practice problems. Okay, so make sure you're asking questions and getting help if you need it.